People often ask me, like, how do I negotiate a better salary? What do I do? How do I make this thing happen? Do I play hardball with them? Do I be really sweet? And what I tell people is, don't believe all that bullshit. You need to think like an entrepreneur, even if you work in a company. And what entrepreneurs are absolutely obsessed with is, how do I add more value to other people's lives than anybody else? Not how do I do what I want. So instead of saying, how do I negotiate this? You gotta fall in love with your company. You gotta fall in love with its mission. You gotta fall in love with the people that you work with. You want a relationship where you're not going to negotiate and you're praying and hoping it'll work out. You wanna be constantly studying, what can I do to add more value? What can I do that people will value in this environment? What can I do to stand out from everybody else in this area? Not just once, not twice, all the time. And then along the way, I make sure that I accumulate and figure out what those things are. And then before the meeting, I would pre-frame them. Here's what I mean. Reframing means you tell somebody something, they come up with a meaning, and then if you don't like it, you try to change it. It's hard to reframe people. Pre-framing is you tell them in advance. And what I would do is say, listen, I want to know what would it take for me to grow in this company another level. And by the way, these are the things, I'm sure you know some of them I'm doing, but I don't want you to have to know them all. But this is what I'm committed to. I've done this. I don't just do the job. Here's what I do in addition. I want to know what will be the plan to go to the next level. And I have conversations like that before I had any conversations about money. And if you can establish a true relationship where there's a connection and respect for who you are and where you're blowing people away by the added value you're doing, if they won't give you a raise, you don't have to come up with some special technique. No technique is going to solve for not adding value. Either you're going to see people value you and your added value works in this environment and there's going to be a future and there's a pathway, or you're going to see that they don't and you need to get your butt out of here and go someplace where the added value will be perceived. Better you find that out now than 4 years down the line when you learn some negotiation technique and you're sitting here trying to manipulate somebody. Manipulation is not the solution. Finding a way to have deep relationship, finding a way to do more than anybody else, and having honesty in your conversations before that moment is going to do more than any little technique I can teach you. Please remember that. And if you do, your future will be very bright because you're not going to be living in fear. You're going to be in control of your own destiny.